Hey everybody, this is Matt from Ridge Supply, and I'm here with Pete McKinney, and we're back with the Be the Bright podcast. It is mid-January, and we're fired up and heading into the new year with a new season of podcast episodes and some behind-the-scenes looks of what we do here at Ridge Supply. First and foremost, I want to welcome Pete because he is now part of the fam. Welcome, Pete.
Thank you.
After 6.5 years, I've finally added a partner in crime to this machine that is Ridge Supply. And I know I'm super excited for what that means. It's been a long time coming, but I wanted to have Pete here and sort of introduce him to everybody and then give him a chance to speak for himself instead of me telling you all about him. So Pete is full-time with us, working here at the Ridge Supply HQ with me. We're here pretty much Monday through Friday and sometimes on Saturdays for rides. The shop still is not open for set hours, but we're definitely trying to get more retail and ride space going here, and stay tuned for more of that in the future. So Pete, welcome. Tell folks a little bit about yourself. How did you end up here at this great institution that is Ridge Supply as the only employee?
Yeah, well, let's see. I did 20 years in the Marine Corps, recently retired. A little bit of background there. I spent the majority of that, about the past 15 years of it, as a EOD technician, so a bomb tech in the Marine Corps, which brought me to Camp Lejeune, where I've been here for roughly the past 5 years, and really got into the riding scene here when I picked up cycling, which is essentially how I met Matt and a lot of the crew around here. And that was 3 or 4 years ago, I think. And we found out we just kind of had the same ride characteristics, I think, in the way we looked at cycling, and just kind of went from there. And then here we are.
Yeah, that's part of the story. I wouldn't say it's all of it, but yeah. For those that don't know, we have 3 Marine Corps bases here, and 55,000 Marines total and their families. And so even if you haven't been around a base somewhere, our entire demographic is Marine Corps. So one of the unique things,
it really presents a different dynamic if you've never been in a military community, especially on the cycling side, because your group, your core customers in this area constantly change, right? It's very transient. So every 2 to 4 years, you pretty much get turnover of who's in the area and who your locals are.
Yeah, and I've been here 16 years, and I'm the one of just a handful of people that have been here that long. Most everybody is like come and gone, or been stationed somewhere else and come back sometimes. And it's been interesting because I'm also of the age, I'm a little older than Pete, but I'm of the age where my peers are retiring, and Pete's one of those folks. So he just retired on December 1st. And we got together and figured out a way to make this work, which is exciting. But I'm excited to have him here because he's not only is he a retired Marine, but he's one of my good friends and somebody that knows the brand really well and came to the brand kind of organically. Tell some folks the story of how you started.
I think for the most part, it started doing local group rides where, I saw the socks. Everybody had the socks. And when I was a new cyclist, I came over from the running community, and it wasn't as big of a thing then to have bright, colorful socks and kit and things in the running community. But when I saw them on all the cyclist feet, and then I found the brand, and I just got really stoked on it, just like everybody does. And then, a few years in a row, I applied, finally got into Arsenal. And I mean, being a local Arsenal guy is nice because you get direct access that some people who are elsewhere may not necessarily get. And that just really got me stoked on the brand and brought me to where we are.
So did you apply and didn't get selected one time? Is that
2 times, I think, actually.
Oh my gosh, wow. Sorry about that. People don't understand that there's a lot more people that apply than, even though we accept 72 people, which is a ton. I'm certain that
hundreds and hundreds.
Yeah. A lot of people have this experience where they're totally worthy of being selected, but the process is tough. So if you have applied for Arsenal before and haven't gotten it, it's not personal. Keep sticking with it, and also let us know when you do reapply that you have reapplied. That obviously is something that we read and help. I've got a little distraction down here. I want to show you guys. This is Fee. If you haven't seen, this is our new shop dog. We drove to Vermont to pick her up 2 weeks ago, and so she's running about, and I'm sure you'll see more of her. But Pete, okay, tell me what you used to run. Don't do ultras and stuff much anymore because of physical limitations, but you ride a lot. Tell folks what you do and what kind of riding you enjoy.
All of it, honestly. We have a new great mountain bike trail in this area that's ever expanding. So we got back into mountain bike. I love gravel cycling. I like to do the long distance gravel races and adventure rides and bike packing and road riding and a little bit of everything. I mean, if it's on a bike, I'm down with it.
Yeah, we ride a lot of road here because it's flat. Don't have a whole lot of well, we don't have hills, period. And the diversity in riding just doesn't exist. So we're all used to just grinding out miles with the wind or riding a tailwind for a little while if you can get it. But we've got a lot of gravel here with the Croatan, over 200 miles right outside the door of the shop, which is cool. And then this Big Branch bike park that just opened up, like he's talking about, is also expanding. So we're hoping to have maybe in the future, have some events that are mountain bike related, as well as maybe running events that we can put on this to bring people here to the Crystal Coast to enjoy. So that's another thing Pete and I are going to be doubling down our efforts on, is expanding the best bike game ever format to running, mountain bike, and even bike packing. You got a bucket list trip that you've sucked me into for your retirement. Tell people about that and what's happening.
Yeah. Well, one of the things, it's a downside to the military, especially in the field I was in, is you don't always get the time you want to do the things you really want. So retirement has been a great provider of time in some aspects to do the things that I've had on my list for a long time. And one of those is doing more bike packing, specifically a long trip, doing the whole Blue Ridge Parkway and Skyline Drive in one push. Not one constant push, but
you gotta sleep.
over the course of 5, 6, 7 days, whatever it ends up being. Totally self-supported and just kind of figuring it out as we go. And I managed to rope that into it, so he's going to do it too, and we'll be sure to get plenty of content and videos and stuff while we're out doing it.
Yeah, and you got a new rig arriving too. We've done a bunch of buildup of bags and equipment and shakedown rides and stuff like that, but you just pulled the trigger on a new whip.
Yeah, I did. To be fair, I pull the trigger on a new whip relatively frequently. So
true.
Yeah. Currently for my bike packing / gravel bike, I'm on a Bomb Track Hook Carbon, which is a great bike, and I will keep that thing forever. But I'm adding to the stable with a new Rodeo Labs Flanimal. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, and I'll be riding the Trail Donkey. I've got the Trail Donkey set up for bike packing as well. And so yeah, stay tuned for some more of that. We've got some custom bags and stuff that are being made, because y'all know I can't have just a black bag. Pete likes the black bags, which is fine. Nothing wrong with black bags. But if you know me, you know I gotta have some color. So Moose Packs has been helping me work on some custom stuff there. But I want you guys to be as stoked as I am that we have an Arsenal member who is a local guy who's also a retired Marine that's part of this crew now, and it's just me and him. If you see some orders or some communication from Pete, that's the guy. And I look forward to, you know, branching out on some things this year where we can have some better content and some better non just Matt selfies, hopefully. So stay tuned for that. And thank you guys for joining us. Thanks Pete for being part of this crew.
Yeah, stoked to be here. It should be a good year. Looking forward to giving everybody a little taste of what it's like to actually be inside Ridge Supply. So
yeah, careful what you wish for when you get to see how the sausage is made, I guess, right? Or how the light switch works. But
yeah,
again, this is Fee. She's a tiny little thing. She's 8 weeks old. She's a wire-haired pointing griffin. If you've ever heard of one of these or seen them, I met a griffin at Peacham Fall Fondo at Ian Boswell's house back in September, and got in touch with those folks up there. And so we just picked her up on a crazy 40-hour trip. Pete and I drove up there 2 weeks ago, the first week of the year. And so she's learning the shop, peeing all over the place in here, but that's par for the course for the puppy. But thank you guys for watching, and we'll be back soon with a new podcast, and everybody have a great 2022.
Bye.